Hey, what's up? It's your boy again. Yep. If you haven't seen the last video where I shared about my childhood, please click the link in the description. And make sure to watch that first. Alright, so what I'm going to share is actually one of my first memories. I've already shared this on my childhood video that I posted like almost 2 months ago. Although didn't really... It wasn't really that good. My speech was bad. I am still bad at speech, though. I am going to talk about yeah, baby Einstein, for instance. And I got the DVDs here. Yeah. And find it. Yeah, why do I still have this? Yep. This is... Yeah, this. I've actually... Yeah, there's no pictures on the back. It's the 2002 version. And there was this moose that appears out of the stocking, and literally I had nightmares about him. So, I'll show some examples on the screen so you can see him. So yeah, basically, that moose that you just saw was... I've had nightmares about him. I was only like 4 or 5 at the time. I think I watched that moose when I was like 3. I don't really remember at first when I started watching it. I think around 2010. Yeah, that was... I think I was 4 when I started having nightmares about that moose. And he literally... His face was close towards mine, trying to trick me into going into his portal in his frickin' mouth. That's what it sounded like. Like it was some kind of evil portal or something. I mean, after that nightmare, I didn't even scream. I was only 4 years old, though. But, however, I still continued to watch Baby Einstein after I still had the nightmares. The nightmare still woke me up, but I didn't even scream. But, however, I actually had several nightmares about that moose. Literally every single time I would go through the portal in his frickin' mouth. Like, that's literally what it looked like. And yeah, I've heard the comments about Jules saying, "We gotta hate nightmares, man." Yes, mine were a little bit chaotic. And speaking of nightmares, I've also talked about... Yeah, I've mentioned this YouTuber in my last video, Mia Claire. She said there was this dog chasing her around with a knife, the dog puppet. Yeah. Basically, if you don't know what Baby Einstein is, it's these puppets that try and teach you about the simple things like space, Beethoven, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, and there's these puppets. Some of them do look creepy, and I did have nightmares about a couple of them. Let's see. Yeah. Alright. Every single time the moose... I would go through the portal in the moose's mouth. But one time, I saw my dog with the evil moose literally on his head. I call him that because he was from my nightmares. Like, I was just coming on the bus from preschool and I found him there. There's still a lot of mysteries to be solved in my dreams. Because I really don't know. Yeah. Basically, the moose was just... Yeah, at first, I was at my grandparents' house. I was only like 5 or 6, and I watched this literally the day after I had a nightmare. It was on like a Thursday, and I came there on like a Friday. I was really little. I was like 5 or 6. Because even though I continued to watch Baby Einstein after. I mean, my mom told me not to, but I was a very brave kid. Yeah. Maybe that's how I started out brave. Probably still as brave as I used to be. I mean, much more braver now. Yeah. Also, there's this one part where the moose was just playing dead, and I've also had nightmares about these polar bears. I mean, I thought they were evil at first, but turns out they were not. My grandpa made these puppets, and the hippo that I had nightmares about just took the power saw, and they were like, "Attack!" So freaking funny. I'll show some examples of what puppets I had nightmares about on the screen. So, see ya. So yeah, basically, all those puppets that you just saw are the ones that I have nightmares about. Basically, there was this one with the bee. He was... Oh man, I don't really remember the nightmares that much, but however, I was like... I was still pretty little. Like, the moose is the first puppet I had nightmares about. And literally, he actually... He was like the second most common nightmare about the puppet I've had. Basically, he was dressed as a robot. My mom was there. And basically, what happened is that my mom was like, he turns off or something. I don't know. There was probably like an on-off switch of some kind on the back of him, of what I remember. But he was way too fast, and he would caught up to me like most of the time. I don't remember what he did though, but I once was about to go snorkeling, like swimming in the pool, and he came down. And I think once he came down, I don't know what happened after that. And this one nightmare I had about watching the bee wasn't necessarily a nightmare. My grandma was there, my mom's mom, and and I and my brother went outside, and this bee, the bee puppet, was literally in the back of the car doing this. He did it like 2 or 3 times. And then somehow, he literally just clipped through the window, and literally we brought him in the house so we can watch him with the DVD, so we can watch him on the DVD player. That's probably what I thought. Clearly, that's not the case that I thought. And I don't remember what happened after that. It was probably over. So yeah, even though I was a brave kid, in my dream, there was this moose, had the invisibility cloak on. He wasn't there. Like, I was right outside the bedroom. I went downstairs to talk to her about the moose. She was like, "You can't be down here." And then she carried me upstairs. And then literally seconds later after she left, the moose came and I went through the portal in his mouth. I know. Yeah. Basically, this guy was an absolute menace. Yeah. Remember having nightmares about the bee puppet, and he literally, I literally was sliding down the stairs like 20 miles an hour. Literally was on the swing, and he was like inches away from getting me. Plus, there was even that one time where the bee had a piano and literally just ran out of the room, and there was like some hidden portal in the wall that I went through in between the bunk beds. And I saw two of my friends there. They probably didn't even care. Also had this other dream about this evil wizard capturing my little cousins. I was like 11 or 12 at the time. And basically, this guy, similar to Gargamel from the Smurfs, he would capture and try to marry one of my cousins. Like, hey yo, what the frick? Bro. Literally, I loved Baby Einstein as a kid. As of Mia Claire, I don't remember if she did. I didn't tell my parents about the nightmares until I was like 10 or 11. Didn't stop having them until I was like 13 or 14. But they started happening less and less often as I got older. That's probably because I watched Baby Einstein less and less. So, yeah. There was also this other dream about a tornado. I was like 15 at the time, 15 or 16. Tornado was literally right behind. So where my house is, like across the street, there's another house. And a tornado was behind that house. Literally spinning around. And I stood out there for like 5 seconds, which is probably not a good idea to do in real life, because a tornado would just come right for you, and then just ran back in the house upstairs. And I was like, I thought my house was going to be destroyed. It didn't. It was pretty scary. I don't remember if it woke me up, but probably. Also about this bee puppet from Baby Einstein. Somehow, I remember Elmo from Sesame Street was involved in one of the nightmares. What he did in my nightmares was not smart. I don't remember. I mean, he let the bee into Elmo's world, and I don't remember what happened after that. So, yeah. What I remember, this other puppet, called the polar bear, was literally nibbling on my head. It didn't work. It did work, and I also saw some kind of secret entrance under my brown couch for some reason. And also, I think I had... There was this polar bear, and also... Oh, right! Tyrone from the Backyardigans. He was in that dream. I don't remember what happened, but they came out of the couch, and literally, magically, all of us ended up at the park. And then maybe a couple minutes later, just went inside, back under the couch, and then it was over. Maybe the evil moose is why I'm afraid of frickin' dogs. Well, I'm not afraid of dogs now, because, yeah. I would say if I ever do have a nightmare about the evil moose again, I'm sure I'll have my dog rip him to pieces, because my dog has torn a bunch of his toys before. The sharp teeth. I also remember the hippo with the gate. And yeah, my grandpa said, Ian, don't open the door. And then he said, Hippo, don't open the door. And my cousin was there too. And then the hippo literally opened the door out of just complete magic. And stood there for like 3 seconds. And then attacked me. I probably somehow got launched through the air. I think I was like 4 or 5 feet in the air until the dream stopped. I was at like a park. Yeah. Very brave kid. Also, my brother had night terrors. Like, I would hear him like across the room, like crying and screaming when I was sleeping. I don't remember how old I was at the time, but he did have night terrors. I don't remember ever having night terrors, but I was a very brave kid. Also, I have this other puppet called the Mouse where I had nightmares about him, and he was basically chasing me around the house, is what I remember, or in a stocking. Basically attacked me. It was around my grandparents' house. So yeah. Basically, all those. Also about Bard the Dragon. Didn't really have nightmares about him. He was just being playful. I thought I did, but yeah. Literally, there was one time where the giraffe saved me from the evil moose. The frickin' giraffe puppet. Yeah, I'll show some examples on the screen so you can see him. Okay, so basically, the giraffe puppet, he basically stood in front of the TV and went away, and then later, he, he, the evil moose just tripped over him and thought that was really funny. I never had a nightmare since then. And there was one time there were two stockings, and he appeared out of one of the stockings, and then he made his noise. And he would make his noise like pretty much like in most of my dreams, if not all of them. And I once put my face near the TV and actually went through the portal that way before in his mouth, which I thought that wasn't even possible, but apparently it was because dreams aren't real, but they could be scary. Also, yeah. I still wake up from nightmares. But yeah. I was a very brave kid. I've also remember having nightmares about the pig puppet from Baby McDonald. I think you've seen enough of examples of puppets on the screen, so yeah, I think if you've heard about Baby Einstein, then you should probably get the hang of it. Literally, I thought the illusion was having the pigs, like the pig puppets, so many of them on my bed. Like, I thought it was an illusion. I was really little. This, yeah. It was possibly like an illusion that I saw. And then they were gone. I remember the two piglet puppets having a dream. The two pig puppets literally breaking a metal spoon in half. My dreams are weird. So basically, back to Bart the Dragon. I basically got launched through the air after I saw Donald Trump like move to the left and Bart the Dragon move to the right, because he usually moves to the left in one of the Baby Einstein scenes, and usually one scared the crap out of me in the World of Rhythm Baby Einstein show. So yeah. The mouse puppet. I don't really remember the mouse puppet nightmares that much. But to be honest, I think I was only like 9 or 10 when I let my dad know about the nightmares. My parents, actually. Dogs reminded me of the moose. Morris Moose. And yes, when he was singing a note, it looked and sounded creepy. Like, I'm gonna have to agree, some of these kids' TV shows are creepy. Like, I've got to remember literally, how freaking hard it was to change, because, I'll be totally honest, I watch Baby Einstein still, but very rarely. I'm never gonna get rid of this. So many memories. It is nighttime right now, so it's probably a good time to be recording a scary story or video. So yeah, that's basically everything I got for the nightmares. One more thing to mention about the polar bears: they somehow made my bunk bed invisible, and they were probably hiding in it. So they were nowhere to be seen. Yeah. So, anyways, I would say this is probably going to be it for this video, because I really don't have anything else to share. I actually had nightmares about Baby Einstein for like a decade. More than a decade, I think. So, yeah. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time.